I wonder how many times we're going to fall out about this.
Turnout day. These are going out. Put some dry cows out this morning. Now we want to get these out.
There's Tiger. Up.
Easy. Come on, Garrett. Come on. Come on. There they go. This is the first time they've ever been outside, so they'll probably do this all day now. I took them out on the cattle trailer, even though that's where they were, simply because when they come out of the shed after being in it all winter, they kind of be a wee bit blind, so they're liable to run anywhere or run into anything. So I like to just put them in the trailer and put them directly into the field, so they're where they're supposed to be instead of running after them everywhere. So it's about 5 days later now, and we have a cow just calved actually. She's the calf out and licked. This is a Flackfey cross. Cow is the second calver. It's just literally after calving. I did experiment a wee bit with Flackfey. I actually bought a Flackfey bull. Would not recommend one. Turned absolutely crazy. Turned absolutely crazy, and I had to get rid of him. That is probably one of the nicer ones there that I kept. I got rid of most of them, to be honest, because big framey animal, but lacking a little bit of milk for the size of them was my thoughts on them. So I kept the biggest of them, or sorry, not the biggest, I kept the best of them. I think there's only maybe 3 there now, so probably I'll not go down that road of crossbreeding again. I'm just going to stick to Holstein from now on. I'll leave her in with the calf. I'll keep an eye on her and see how she goes. So we're just making up a bit of reviva here now. So this is something I give everything: heifers, cows, everything. It's basically full of glucose, calcium. It really just helps them kick on after calving. There's no wee lulls or anything. It just seems to get them going and get them eating straight away. I took that calf off that cow. She wasn't meaning to be aggressive, but she's inexperienced, and it doesn't take much for an animal that size to hurt somebody or something. That animal's probably close to 700 kilos. She doesn't know what she's at. That's the way we work all our calves and cows. We tend to take them off immediately because, number one, it doesn't give the chance for that cow to bond with that calf. And some people might say that's cruel and all the rest. It's not cruel, because my uncle used to keep all his cows, suppose it was an old way of working, keep all the cows on the calves. So you would have calved all year round, and then he would have kept his calves in with the cows until milking time, and then milked the cow until about 3 weeks when the calf was sold. See, after that calf left, that cow was devastated. The cow went off her milk. She roared for weeks. It was the old way of doing it, but it was cruel to the cow and the calf. The annoyance it caused was serious. This way that I suppose most farmers nowadays practice, that calf or cow doesn't bond with each other. It's called snatching. So whenever that cow is calved, it's tucked away, and we basically care for that calf until such time where it goes on to another farm, or in the case of the like of these girls, they become milking cows then. So this is something I wanted to do for quite a while. It's one of probably the main reasons that I started this channel, and also the social medias. What has happened in the last, particularly the last 10 years, is that we have seen a huge uptake in anti-farming agenda, and Europe particularly. Like Europe as a whole is envied around the world for farming practices. We're envied around the world for sustainability, for environmentally friendly. Like you look at the countries like Germany, for example, world leader in alternative energies. As a young person now, I suppose I've been into it now 10 years, and I've seen a trend, and it's getting worse and worse and worse, till the point of we are getting abused at this stage. We're not even, nothing we do is enough. We're underappreciated, we're underpaid. So I want to do this video just to highlight a few things. And before I start, media is one of the biggest problems here. And I'm talking about big corporations who are helping this agenda out. And don't forget, folks, these people are not on your side. These people are bought and paid for. They have shareholders, so that means they have a list of things that they can say, and they have a list of things which they cannot say. My advice is research. Do your own research and then make a decision. Just don't swallow what they're feeding you. So let's get into it. This is the global emissions per country in the world at present. No surprises, the top 3 or 4 here. Probably the biggest surprise would be the gap between first and second, although China is a massive country, over 1 billion people. But at the moment, they're just under 1/3 of global emissions. USA, 13.5%. India, 7.3%. Russia, 4.7%. And then you have lowly little Ireland here at the bottom. 0.00012% global emissions. Now, I'm going to highlight these three, sorry. Why I'm highlighting China, India in particular is because these are seen as developing countries, even though they produce most of the microchips for the world. Most of the tech that you see is from China. But because they're such a large country and have so much, they're a global superpower, they can basically tell the world what they want to do, and there's nobody can stop them. So this is why these people here are exempt from the same laws and regulations that we currently adhere to in Europe. So they are 30.9%. India, another huge country, they're exempt from the same laws and regulations that we currently face in Europe. Russia. Well, we know what Russia is. Russia is a dictatorship, and Russia basically makes its own laws up. They're a hugely rich country, rich in minerals, oils. So Russia just doesn't play by the rules. Here is where I want to come to. Because over the last number of years, what we have seen in Ireland is very scary. It's very scary for a farmer looking. We're in the UK here in Northern Ireland, and at the moment we are not under the same strict laws as Ireland in terms of emissions and so on. Ireland produces that amount of global emissions. Now, there's no herd cull here. There's no herd cull here, and there's no herd cull here. But Ireland have proposed culling 200,000 cows over 3 years. Now, I will emphasise that that is not set in stone yet. Why? Why in a country producing this amount of global emissions has it... why do they have to cull their cows? And they are doing something called derogation. And derogation basically limits the amount of nitrates you have on your farm, which, in a nutshell, it makes you unable to keep a certain amount of cows. So, for example, let's say you're milking 80 cows. So you've spent the money to get up to 80 cows. You've probably invested a lot of money to do that, and in order to do so, to meet repayments and so on, and have a decent standard of living, you need to milk 80 cows. What the government in Ireland have done, they have basically told you, right, they have cut people's incomes overnight, and essentially what that's going to do is put people out of business. Unlike generations before me, they would have put up with that, but our generation won't, because we're not making enough money to put up with that. The threshold between regulations, increasing the regulations, which then in turn forces us to spend more money on a farm that's already just about breaking even. Working 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and getting nothing but abuse from media and from the general public. Why are we not being supported? We're producing the best quality food in the world. We're an integral part of the community. We are the reason why the countryside is as beautiful as it is. My fear is my cub now, who is 2 years old, won't farm in this country. There is no way, if current legislation and regulations are in place and continue to get worse, there is no way I will be here. There is absolutely no way that in 10 or 20 years that I'll be farming in this country. We need more transparency from processors. We're in a place in Northern Ireland in particular, and in the south of Ireland as well, where we don't know what we're going to get from 1 month to the next. And I know we are in a challenging market because we're such a small country. We are having to operate on the world market, which is very volatile. But it's up to people in higher esteem to make another market for that. Like, we can't be responsible for where our milk goes to. That has to be the processors and so on that have incentivized us and told us to grow. And I'm referring to taking the shackles off us that they did back in, was it 2015, and doing away with milk quotas. Subsidies is another thing. Subsidies were created to keep the cost of food down. But subsidies now are being used as a stick to beat us with, threatened constantly that if we don't abide by strict regulations and legislations, we will get a penalised in our single farm payment, which we do need, because we're not being paid a fair price for our product. We need subsidies to survive. Sorry for rambling on a wee bit and that, folks, but I just wanted to share, I suppose, some of my thoughts and some of the things that's been said in the media and so on about farming. To say, we just get a wee bit of a bad rap, and it's nice to just get our side of the story out. If you look up, the sun's starting to creep out of the clouds. Me and the wee boy now is going to go and feed the cows. Say it's a difficult time for farmers at the minute, just with the weather and stuff, Guinness. It's very important to look after yourselves. Get out, get away from the farm for lock hours, spend time with family, and just mind yourselves. Till the next video, folks. If you like this video, hit the like button, click the subscribe button, and ring the wee bell, get notifications of our videos. And thanks for everything so far.